Hi guys, this is Allison Pryor. I have 3 easy steps to paint a mountain today. And so the first step is to take a piece of chalk and draw out your mountain first, just to get an idea of how you want it to look. So if you're left-handed, you start over here. If you're right-handed, you can start over here. So I'm just going to start over here, and I'm going to make a small hill, and then I'm going to make a taller hill, and then I'm going to make another smaller hill and a couple other smaller hills and a big tall one again. And so you can make any shape that you want. I'm just giving you some ideas of how to do a mountain. So just get your shape first, any shape you want. You can even look online or look at some of your pictures or for mountains and see what the shapes are, and just pick those. And then just take any flat chisel brush or a flat sable brush. I like this one because it has a chiseled edge. And I'm just going to fill it up with any colors you want, any dark colors. You can have any colors you want for your mountains. And just fill that in there so you can get your shapes. So there we go. So at least now when you fill in, you can see the shapes. You can always change them if you want as you go along. But right now, let's just put in these shapes. So I'm just going to use black paint for the video, but you can use any colors you want. It could be deep red, orange, any dark colors. You can mix all the colors together. And we'll just put in our mountains. I'm just coming down here just to get enough room so we can see those shapes. So there's the shapes. So see how the chiseled edge goes up against your chalk. And using chalk is good because then if you didn't like it, you can always rub it out just like if you're doing on a chalkboard. Okay, so we're getting some shapes, and so you got some tall ones and short ones. We'll just fill it in with black or whatever colors you want, any dark colors. Because it depends if you're putting snow on your mountains or if you're just having some mountains in the background. But at least it'll give you some idea of how you can make these mountain shapes. Because I know some people have a hard time with the palette knife. So we'll just go with brushes for today. Alright, so we're almost done with our shapes. So there we go. We have our shapes done. Now I might fix this shape up here a little bit. So you can fix them up as you go along. And this is a good way now to put your shapes the way you want them. So use your chalk and then shape them up after you get it done to the way you want them. See, that makes it so much easier. Until you get used to using a palette knife or, as you see other videos, it can be a little complicated. So this makes it a little bit easier. So the next thing you're going to do is you can dry it if you want. You can dry it because right now I'm going to show you a way to get some really nice shapes to your mountains by using chalk again. So number one is to draw your shapes with chalk, and number two is to paint in your mountains and really shape them up. So that's number two, is paint the mountains. And take a piece of chalk, this is still number two, because we're working on getting shapes, and you're just going to take from the top of the hump of the mountain and you're going to make this squiggly line. So make squiggly lines coming, and these little squiggly lines will help you get some nice shapes to your mountains. So just make little squiggly lines to help you get some shapes. So you got those squiggly lines, okay? So here they are. There we go. Squiggly lines. So you can make those squiggly lines whatever way you want them, but as long as they come from the top of the mountain down through the center area. Okay? So next, what you're going to do, number three, is you're going to highlight it. Now you can highlight it with a fan brush because, like I say, the palette knife, some people are not used to it, so a fan brush would work. And all you need to do is, right now I'm just going to use some white paint, and I'm going to add a little bit of a little bit of black too, just to gray it up, because we don't want it too white, because we're not really trying to put too much snow on there. But I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to go to the top of the mountain and stay inside that line that I made, and I'm going to pull down straight, not straight down, but diagonally, and I'm going to pull down these nice little lines with my fan brush, and that keeps some of the darks underneath. There we go. And try another one. So we'll follow that line. So there's your squiggly line. So follow that line, and that will help you know where to go with your fan brush, with your paint, so that you get some nice shapes. So there we go. So then you don't have to guess. It's done for you. So start at the top of this mountain and diagonally come down to the right. Go over to that squiggly line, and now go back and follow that squiggly line over here and pull down diagonally. And see how it's starting to shape up, and that squiggly line helps you. It helps you make that shape. This is the part that people have a hard time with, getting that shape there. Especially with a palette knife. You see the videos and they just, make all these shapes. And if you're more experienced, then yes, you can make those shapes, no problem. But this will help you get an idea. So let's start at the top of this mountain, and we'll pull over diagonally right over to that other squiggly line. You can even go up a little bit, it's okay. And then come back over. And now you know you can't go past that squiggly line. Because if you did, you probably wouldn't know where to go, or you get a little lost. I know I did when I first started. So this is what I came up with to help people who are just beginning to try to make some hills and mountains. So let's go to the top of this mountain and pull diagonally down towards that squiggly line. And now you can't go past that squiggly line because it's there to help you. Alright, so we got a couple more to do. Top of the mountain, and pull down diagonally, and pull down. Now I'm pushing a little bit too hard, so I'm losing some of my black underpainting, so I got to be careful with that. So try to get this nice, try to keep some of your darks underneath. Doesn't have to be perfect, because you can always straighten it up later. But right now I'm just trying to show you how to get some shapes to your mountains. Okay, so I'm going to go way back here. There's my squiggly line. See? That cool? So here's another one. Top of the mountain, pull to the right, pull down. Use the very tip of your brush. That will help you keep some of those keep some of the black underpainting or dark underpainting. Okay, so there we go. Just these little lines pulling forward. Good. And we have one more to do. So here's the top of the mountain. Pull diagonally. And watch that squiggly line. Don't go past it. And there we go. So now you got some mountains. See, you got the shapes now. And now you can do anything you want with them. Now you can put some more snow on the top of the mountain if you want. Here we go. You can do anything with them now because you got the shapes. And you got the shadow on the back, because we'll say that the sun is coming in from the right and the shadow is on the left. So let's put some shadow color in there. So all you got to do is put some blue and white together, make a bluish color, and then pull back from the top of the mountain and don't go past that squiggly line, and now you know where to go on the back. You can just keep using your fan brush for now. And just put the corner of the brush in these smaller areas. And just pull them back. Pull back the blue. The blue gives it a nice shadow. And here we go. And you can play with them and do whatever you want. Now that you got your shapes, you can have some fun with them. So I think I'm gonna just leave that at that, because that's a little lesson in how to get some hills and some shapes, and how to, you can add color to those. You can add more paint. See, now you can just go wherever you want now, because you know that squiggly line kept you where you're supposed to be. You can play with them and do whatever you want with them now. You might even be able to use the palette knife now because you got it all in place. So I hope this helped you. So you enjoy this lesson. If you got any questions, just let me know. And I'll just leave it at that for now. It's pretty simple. Just a simple, short little video. So step number 1 was to draw the mountains with your chalk. Okay. And the step number 2 was to fill it in with your background color, your underpainting, and then make a squiggly line down the center so you can get that nice shape. And number 3 was to highlight with a fan or palette knife if you can do it. And that's about it. So I think that's it for now. So you guys have a great painting day, and I'll see you in my next video.